met Aaron Sorkin, the brilliant creator of the series, when he was in Washington, D.C. I was working at the White House, and he was doing research for a screenplay he was writing called The American President. And a couple years later, he called me and said, I've written the pilot for a TV show. Will you take a look at it? And it was the pilot for The West Wing. And I thought it was terrific. I thought it was interesting, but I didn't think it would ever get made. I didn't think the American public was interested in a TV show about politics and about what went on behind the scenes at the White House. And of course, it turns out I was wrong.
I worked in the Senate for 7 years, and I became eventually the Chief of Staff of the Senate Finance Committee in 1993 when President Clinton came into office. And so I had, during the Clinton years, a lot of executive branch interaction and a lot of time in the White House.
Well, I had been in presidential politics since Harvard, and I worked for President Carter, and was a close personal advisor of his, so I'd been at the White House. I'd been through 5 presidential campaigns.
You gotta ask him! You gotta ask him!
We lost 5 votes.
What?
We lost 5 votes.
Give me names.
I don't got them yet. Get on the phone.
Oh, man.
They worked really hard on this particular show to get it right. I think that's one of the reasons the show has been successful. There are ways in which we cheat reality, but the way it feels on that show is the way that it felt to me when I was working at the White House. The fact that it's good people who get up every day and try to do right and try to make the country a better place. They don't always succeed. You know, they're human.
Why does he insist on demonizing us as a group?
Because your group has plenty of demons.
Every group has plenty of demons.
You don't have to tell me about it, Reverend. I'm a member of the Democratic Party.
The pilot really impressed me because that's something Aaron wrote completely on his own. No help, no research staff, no co-writers, no researchers. And it was amazingly on point, you know, really accurate as to feel and the movements and the style of that world. And I just thought, how does he know this? Where did he get this? I mean, he's visited the White House, but he's never been in a business meeting in the Oval Office.
They want to strip mine, Big Sky?
Mr. President.
Yeah.
Swallow it.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Because it's the right thing to do.
No, it's not.
You mean to tell me we take
Excuse me,
this bill?
fellas, over here, please.
Mr. President, it's a banking reform bill. That's the ball game. Let's not get into an intramural spitball contest over a couple of rocks that are uninhabitable 8 months of the year anyway.
They're pretty good-looking rocks.
What Sam meant to say was that we can live without the environmental lobby.
I don't believe that is what I meant to say, Josh. I believe what I meant to say is it'll save real people real money.
Aaron had this idea that we could do this with, and you know what, that's what made West Wing work, because it was about real issues, and it was about real struggles with them, and it was about, and Aaron had this which to his credit, this incredible absolutism about that we tell both sides of the story.
You know what we're doing here, right?
We're gonna talk about soft money.
We're gonna do more than talk about it.
Okay.
We agree on nothing, Max.
Yes, sir.
Education, guns, drugs, school prayer, gays, defense spending, taxes, you name it, we disagree.
You know why?
Because I'm a lily-livered, bleeding-heart, liberal, egghead communist.
Yes, sir. And I'm a gun-toting redneck son of a bitch.
Yes, you are.
Mostly I work with the writers coming up with story ideas. Sometimes things that happen to me, which is great because I get to rewrite the endings, so it always comes out better than it did actually.
Is there any reason to believe that White House staffers regularly use illegal drugs?
For those who didn't understand me the first 9 times, we are looking into this.
CJ, would you forgive a blunt question?
These questions haven't been blunt yet.
Everyone thinks they can do a better job than the briefer.
Josh.
Hey there, cats and kittens. This is Josh Lyman coming at you with your 2 o'clock briefing.
Josh, please, be very careful.
Aaron's idea was to have CJ is getting a root canal. And so my idea was somebody's got to step in and brief. So the character Josh steps in to brief and makes an incredible hash out of his briefing.
1 question apiece.
Josh.
Mike.
When was the last time the president had a cigarette?
Mike, you sure you want your 1 question to be that stupid?
It's not a stupid question, Josh. It was a bit of payback, I guess, in some aspect for, hey, all you people who think you can do this better, it isn't as easy as it looks. So I loved that. It was a lot of fun.
And the president's committed to vetoing any commerce bill that prohibits sampling data as a legitimate component of the 2000 census. And I'm not saber-rattling, Jill. I'm just giving you a preview of what you're going to get later with Toby.
Aaron wanted to do the census, and I looked at it and said, and I had worked on the 1980 census, and I'm going, you don't want to do the census, it's really boring. He said, no, I want to do the census.
Sam, I read my briefing book last night on the commerce bill regarding the census, and there's certain parts of it that I don't quite understand.
I can help you out. Which parts?
Well, all of it.
All of it?
Yes.
You don't understand the census.
I don't understand certain nuances.
Like what?
Like the census.
Aaron was the most amused student of a lot of this stuff. He was delighted when the research staff would come up with something he did not know, and that you could teach Aaron first, and then Aaron would put it in a script and teach the country. He loved that.
By the way, I now know everything there is to know about the census. Go ahead, you can ask me anything.
How many people live in the United States?
The two-part series we did with Lord Marbury, which starts with an idea of Aaron saying, I want to have a show and bring this British guy. They'd just been having this India-Pakistan thing, and I thought, well, my God, because of Britain and stuff, maybe we use that, and I just threw it out. And that's how that started.
India and Pakistan have fought 3 wars in the half-century since they have gained their independence, with God knows how many skirmishes in between. It is about religion.
Secretary of State Madeleine Albright said it was the single best exposition that she thought she had ever seen on the problems in the subcontinent, which I thought was a great thing for her to say about the show.
It's a whole range of issues that we deal with on the show.
The era of big government is over. Oh, when did this happen? This morning, we had a meeting.
We do it all just like you do in the real White House. So it goes from sort of the true but absurd to the most serious, which deals with issues of war and peace and life and death, and everything in between.
Would you like me to have the stewards bring you some coffee in the Washington Post?
Who the hell is this?
Sir?
And what could you possibly want?
Sir, I need you to dig in now. It wasn't a nightmare. You really are the president.
It's a wonderful creative process where, everyone contributes story ideas, and then Aaron Sorkin would write the scripts and weave all those different stories together in a way that really turned into an amazing hour of television.
Aaron Sorkin could have done it with this cast in any work location you want to pick. And these directors could have done it with this material. This show, The West Wing, is all about great writing, great cast, great direction.
People could tune in and see the White House they wish they had, as opposed to what our politics has given us. And I think that's what you have with West Wing, and I think that's what he's created. Aaron would be very critical by saying it, but it is a show that gives people hope.
Judge Mendoza, would it surprise you to learn that for the past few months your name has been on a short list of candidates for the bench?
Yes, Mr. President.
Well then, this is going to knock your socks off. Tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, I am naming you as my nominee to be the next Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court. You were not the first choice, but you are the last one and the right one. Will you accept the nomination?
With honor.